Back on Morning Line, it's our final segment this morning. We're talking Social Security. You see the number on the screen if you want to jump in. A couple lines open. Josh Horn's with us. Wyatt Gabe, both of them over there handling, calls. I know Wyatt does it on a daily basis, helping people get through the very things you're asking us this morning. So give us a ring, and let's go next to Grace. Grace, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Grace.
I was just calling. I wanted to find out about. I have a brother who has got stage 4 kidney failure, and he was scheduled to have a dialysis shunt put in for dialysis, and we had to leave the appointment because he didn't have money to pay the doctor. And, these are surgeons that put these things in, and they require payment ahead of time. And I had applied for him for disability, and I've applied for him for SSI, and he was refused disability and SSI. His kidney failure is to the point where it's affecting his blood production, and it's making him anemic. He has not had to have shots yet for that. They put people on certain kinds of shots to help make their body produce red blood cells and production of iron and things like that. And I'm at a loss as to what to do because he's been refused for both things. He also has other medical problems too, severe back pain, and
Okay, and you guys applied, and when was the last time you applied?
Here within the last 2 months.
Okay, so kidney failure, it has to be a certain level to qualify, and as always, you should not give up. They should appeal or move through the process, but he's going to progressively get worse anyway. And at some point, what's the threshold, do you know, with dialysis issues and things like this?
I couldn't tell you exactly what they're. If you have this, they'll approve you for that.
Yeah.
Like you said, I would suggest that if you just got denied within the last 2 months, you have 65 days to appeal that decision. Please get in contact with us as soon as possible. It's a reconsideration. And the good thing about that, if you do appeal and win that appeal, we'll go back to your original filing date.
That's right.
So we could backdate that benefit what we owe you. So I suggest you get in contact with us as soon as possible so we can file that appeal and hopefully get your brother help.
Yeah, if he meets that threshold. Yeah, you're right. You get the lump sum back pay if it wins the appeal. Go back to when you initially applied.
Exactly.
That's good. Let's go to Carol. Hi, Carol.
Hello.
Hello. How can we help you?
I came in the middle of this, so I want to ask to try to understand about Part A and Part B.
Okay, go ahead. What you got? We'll give it an effort. Go ahead.
The hospital Part A, B, what are they going to do? Is it going to be the same in the medical?
Okay.
Sure, yeah, basically your hospital insurance is the Part A, and that's free. You don't pay for that, but the Part B is typically what you'd pay for, and that's the doctor's insurance. And they have said that it's going up, but we're not exactly sure how much it's going up by. But we did talk about the hold harmless provisions, which basically means that even if the Part B premiums go up, your check will not go down just for that reason, that they will basically adjust the Part B premium increase to make sure that your benefits don't go down.
All right. We had someone else that called in a moment ago, kind of piggybacking on the call before Carol. Just when you are denied, the process of appealing, what's the step you take at that point? You get the notice, no, we rejected you, did not qualify for your application. What do you do next? How does that go?
It's a couple of different ways that you go about it. I suggest you go online. If you have access to the internet, you could appeal that decision online. It's called a reconsideration.
Okay.
If you do not have access to the internet, you could give us a call. We can send you the information in the mail for you to fill out, and you can send it back. Or you could come in, and then we'll help you fill it out if you come into the office and get it done that day that you come in.
Good.
So you have 3 different ways that you could take care of that.
Well, the bottom line is, you should know that if you're denied, you have the right to appeal. These guys will set you up with the process to do that.
And 2 things: when you appeal, make sure that you list all of your. You make sure when you file a disability or an appeal, you list all of your conditions if this is your main condition, but you have 3 or 4 peripheral issues, make sure and put those in there too, because sometimes the combination can make a difference. And when you appeal, make sure and put all the updates. We see sometimes folks will send in an appeal package, but they'll just put minimal information. Yep, I'm still disabled, I'm still disabled, but they won't put in there, well, I've also seen this doctor now and this doctor, and this has gotten worse, and I forgot to mention this last time, and then sometimes that can make a difference.
Let's go next to Ricky. Hi, Ricky.
Hi, Nick.
Good morning. How can we help you, Rick?
Y'all had talked about a man there that was 64-year-old. I actually have two questions.
Okay.
And the man that was 64, and his full retirement age would be 66.
Right.
And Josh had actually said that when he got 66, it would automatic, nothing would change. But the way I understood it, when he gets 66, his benefit won't stay the same. It will drop back 25%.
No.
So if he's actually getting $1,600, he would only be getting $1,200 a month then, from disability to his full retirement age. And that's what I understood before that y'all showed on there. And my other one is when you get you're able to get your Medicare and your supplement insurance. Am I understanding right? They can charge actually 5 times the amount or something of what it should be or something because you're not 66? Or I guess what I'm trying to say is why is it so much different in the price for your supplement at 66 or 67, which would be my case, rather than at 60 or 55 like I am now?
Well, I'll answer your first part, and then I'll have Wyatt answer your second part. But
Lucky you, Wyatt.
The first part, I'll give him a second to think about that. But your full retirement benefit amount, let's say it's $1,200, is the same amount that you would draw if you were drawing disability. So if you started drawing disability when you're 55 years old, it's going to be the same number as your full retirement age amount. So you'll draw that, and you'll keep drawing that, and you'll keep drawing that, assuming you're still disabled. And you'll have the periodic medical reviews and so on and so forth. And then when you hit your full retirement age 66, there's no change in your benefit amount. The only time that your benefit amount takes that permanent reduction is if you take early retirement and you're not disabled. But at age 66, our systems will convert you over to retirement benefits because it's the same amount of money, and will no longer do the periodic medical reviews. And in fact, at that point, let's say you were at age 66, 67, you figured out something that you could do for income, you could actually start working there, and we won't, you don't even have to report that. So, I mean, there's not that reduction.
Okay, and real quick, anything you can answer for him? I didn't even understand his question.
Well, as far as with a supplement, we don't control the price of your supplement because you're going through a third party. Okay. So I would suggest you shop around if you're trying to get that supplement.
Best price.
Yeah, and get the best price that you could get. The only thing we have control over is that Medicare Part A and Part B. Like Mr. Horn here said, that Part A is free to you. Right now, that Part B is $104.90 a month. Like, we don't know what it will be in 2016. But as far as that Part C, that's whoever you have that set up with as far as that third party.
All right, let's go to Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
You were talking about the $255 death benefit. I am under the impression that, and of course, he said that everybody gets that, but I think I was told if I'm single, no spouse, no children, but I do have a couple of nieces and nephews who will be taking care of my interment. Do I still get that benefit? Because I was told I did not because I was single and didn't have any children.
Right. I guess we need to clarify who it is that can get it. And you're right. There are limits on that. So who gets it? It has to be your husband or wife, the widow?
Well, you have to be currently married and living in the same household. So if you're married and separated, you would not receive it also.
Meaning the death benefit then goes to the surviving spouse.
Exactly.
That's it, not the kids.
If you have children under 18 and you're not married, the kids can get it at that time.
Okay.
So it just depends on your situation. But if you're currently married, your surviving spouse will get that $255.
And if you're not married and you're single?
If you're not married, you're single, only people that could apply for it if you have children under 18 or you have a disabled child that became disabled before they turned 22.
I gotcha. Okay, let's go to Richard real quick. Hey, Richard, go ahead.
Here, yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is, if a man is on disability, full-time disability, is he allowed to work any months or weeks per year and draw a certain amount of income also on top of the disability?
There you go.
Yeah, so basically we have a couple of what we call return to work provisions. One is that you've got 9 trial work months, and so you can make as much as you want to in those 9 trial work months, and they don't even have to be consecutive. You know, if you go to work this month and maybe next month and that didn't work out, so you take 6 months and then you find something else and you try for a couple more months. But eventually, once you add those 9 months of trial work together, then it begins the second provision, which is the
extended period of
extended period of eligibility, which is a 36-month period where if you make over the substantial gainful activity amount, which is about $1,000.
It's $1,090 gross.
$1,090 gross. If you make over that, we're not going to pay you. If you make under that, we will pay you, and we'll go back and forth for 36 months or 3 years, and then after that 3-year period, the first month you go over that amount, that $1,090 amount, then that's when your benefits
Is that
stop.
only during the trial? Is there any amount you can make or work, just not in some window or whatever, when you're on disability?
Well, that trial work period, you can make as much as you want.
But it has to be through the trial.
It has to, the first 9 months of working, as long as you make over, I think it's right now, is if you make over $720, that's what activates that trial work period.
Okay.
So if you make over $720, like I said, you can make $5-6 grand in a month. It won't affect your Social Security for those first 9 months.
Okay.
Now, after you get past those 9 months, like you said, the extended period of eligibility, every time you make over that monthly limit, which right now is $1,090 a month gross, you'll not do that payment that month.
Okay.
So it's your responsibility too.
So he can make some, if he chooses, even if he's outside the trial, he can make up to $1,000.
Exactly. I tell people $1,000 too. Give you that $90 leeway, just in case you make over a little bit.
And that won't affect his benefit.
No, sir. As long as you make under $1,090, you're okay.
So yeah, the answer to your question is you can, if you can find a way to make some in that way. But over that amount, you start jeopardizing your benefit.
Exactly.
Wyatt, it's always a pleasure having you on.
I'm glad
it's nice to have you on this morning. You come anytime, and Josh, you can drag him along, okay? You got to take him to breakfast after you're done here. What do you say before you guys go back to the administration? Josh Horn, Wyatt Gay, thanks both for coming on. Really good seeing you both. We'll see you again in about a month or so. How about that?
Sounds good.
We'll be back with a programming note about tomorrow right after this. Stay with us.